tonight, I've got the people that actually helped me kick off this series on January 12th. I thought it would be amazing if they helped me start this series. They came, Matthew and Tercy Zinglehart, the owners of Cafe Gratitude, the creators of the Abounding River board game, the Abounding River personal logbook, the Sweet Gratitude, and I Am Grateful recipe books. We've got Plenty of Time, which is beautiful, totally beautiful book, and there's Sacred Commerce, all these incredible products that they're putting out, and this food and this atmosphere, this entire philosophy that they're bringing forth into our community. They were gracious enough to help me start off this series, and I thought that I would have them end the series, and then I had the idea for next week, so we bumped it out one more week. But I wanted to do something a little different this week. I've been wanting to practice with doing some interviewing, and now that I'm actually doing it, I've got so much adrenaline running through my system, I feel nauseous. But and I've got 3 pages of questions, so I hope you guys are really comfortable and everyone's gone to the bathroom. We're going to be here a little while. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves a little first, or should I just jump in?
Just jump in.
Okay. How did you two meet?
So, let's see, I was working for a company called Landmark Education, and I was the coach of a program that Matthew was a participant in, and that's how we met.
Well, how long before you knew this was the love of your life?
So we met in September, and I was just divorced in a rebound relationship, and I had it that Tercy was like a great friend, but I had her in the too old for me category. And when I got off of that in March, so that was September, and in March I got the inauthenticity of that, and we've been together ever since.
What year was that?
March 2001.
Wow. So what is your relationship like? Is it easy or is it work?
It's really easy. So it's really easy. It's funny, the other day, you know, when we got together, we said, well, how do we want to live our life? And we said, well, we'll just trust inner guidance. And I remember having the thought, well, but what if his inner guidance says something and mine doesn't like it? But it's interesting. Apparently, inner guidance never does that. Because just the other day, Matthew said, oh, I got this download. And all of a sudden, there was this like 3-inch, maybe 12-foot high piece of PVC pipe sticking out of the ground on our farm up into the air, and it's like, what is that? And he says, oh, it's a broadcaster, a quantum field broadcaster. And I'm like, what's that? You've never said anything to me about this at all. And all of a sudden there's this pipe just sticking up out of the ground. And he goes, well, I thought you'd paint it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. And then I said, what is it? What does it do? And he shared all the things that this does, and he read me the prayer that's in it, and he put little homeopathic doses of biodynamic preps in it, and a map of the farm in it, and then he explained to me how it draws from the electricity and the energy of the earth, and it broadcasts out to, it's very mystical, and it broadcasts out through these copper wires, and I'm sitting there, I'm a very practical person, I'm thinking, wow, it's really interesting, it looks like a big old piece of PVC pipe to me. So, and then he said, I'm gonna do this big mandala, and the next thing I know, he's gone somewhere and gotten rocks, and today he brought in a whole bed of gravel, and I said, well, do you think you could like draw a picture and let me see it first? He goes, no, I'm just gonna do it. And I was like, I know, but once it's done, then it's like, I'm kind of stuck with it. Like, if you could show me a picture first. And he goes, no, it was a download. And I was like, oh, got it, okay, great. Okay, good, it's great, I love it. And I got out there and I thought about how do I want to paint it, what does it want to be? And he was like, I thought you'd do maybe some really bright colors. And then I went and looked to see what I had in paints, and all of a sudden I looked out and there's this amazing, I love sunflowers, and all of a sudden I have this sunflower blooming in the middle of November, like out of the middle of nowhere is this sunflower, and I thought, wow, what a great idea. So I painted it like a sunflower. It's this big bright green pole, and then the caps with these little like connectors on it are painted like brown and yellow, and then the top has a copper cone, and I brushed brown around it. So it looks like, and I put big petals on it. So it looks like this big sunflower. And all of a sudden I find myself walking by this piece of PVC pipe and talking to it and thanking it for being there and asking it to make sure it spreads the blessings throughout the land. So the reason I share that with you is it's an example of how well we get along. It's not about, he has this thing he does called the Maddie Show. And if you've ever driven in a car with us, you'll get privy to it. He has sort of a dialogue, like he drives along and kind of shares like a tour guide, but it's the Maddie Show. It's his judgments and opinions of just about everything that you're driving by while you're driving, and it's so freaking entertaining. It's just like, I can't believe his mind says all those things. And I just listen as we go through, and he tells me what that restaurant serves and what's going on over there, what's going on over there, and can you believe there's a superstore for pets now? I mean, it's this ongoing monologue. So, you know, we get along great. We're probably too busy to argue and too committed to serving to have our relationship ever be about us. And I can't imagine life without him. But it's good, I'm older. I'll probably go first. I won't have to live without him. Yeah, it's really easy.
So are there any challenges to being together 24/7, work, home?
Well, so it's pretty much the same challenge. It's just like it is for you guys. So we're driving down the road, and there's some upcoming I'm driving about 80 miles an hour, and there's some brake lights. There's some cars stopping ahead of us, and she says, brake lights. But through my wound of I'm not enough, I hear, she thinks I can't drive. I actually hear that. She thinks I can't drive. So I say, I know how to drive. And through her wound of I'm not listened to or I don't matter, she hears that she doesn't matter, and that's just more evidence. So she goes, why should I even bother? And then we have a choice. We can actually, the wounds can kind of do their sword play, or one of us can apologize. I can apologize for not relishing her commitment to our safety. She could apologize for not speaking in a way that landed like an opportunity in my world, even though there was no spin or panache on what she said. She was neutral, brake lights, no attitude. But it landed over here like, she knows what my wound is. So we apologize a lot. We make requests of each other, and we acknowledge each other all the time. And that's the only way to stay out of the mucky muck.
You answered several of the next questions. That's awesome. So who were or are your inspirations?
Let's see, who are my inspirations? Katharine Hepburn. Jesus. Mary. Our employees. My grandchildren. My mother. Matthew. He inspires me a lot. Yeah, just about everything, really. The sunrise, the sunset, the dew on the leaves. Yeah, just about everything. Raw vegan ice cream definitely inspires me. Yeah, people inspire me.
I would say, you know, the courage of human beings to take this, to do this human experience thing, and that overcoming, anybody who overcomes the illusion of separation to any degree, anybody who forgives someone, anybody who apologizes, anyone who gets straight and authentic, yeah, that's inspiring. Anyone who overcomes their circumstances and chooses love.